Okay, the actual design of the phone has a nice 4.3-inch display, same as the ZTE Warp. Has your 3 touch capacitive buttons, back, home, and settings button on the bottom. Above here you have your notification light and your 1 megapixel camera. What's nice is they integrated the color scheme of the phone into the actual earpiece, which I liked. On top of the phone you'll have your power sleep button with your 3 standard 3.5mm head jack, bare bones on the left side, your micro USB charging port on the very bottom, and a volume rocker on your right hand side. Covering the back of the phone has a nice orangish red look to it. Directly below it is the Beats Audio, the Beats by Dre logo, and there's your speaker grill. Now, some things that you might want to point out that I did not see in any of the other reviews. The backing of this phone is actually difficult to take off unless you have, I don't know, fingernails or something that you'd be able. So I would definitely be careful because it has these small clips. So if you're not careful, you could snap those, and obviously it will not go on your phone perfect, and you don't want to do that. Now, on the backing of the phone, you have your HTC battery. It's an 1800 milliamp battery, which, in my own opinion, guessing from all the other phones that had the same size battery, you're probably going to be looking at, with heavy use, you're probably going to get anywhere between half to 3/4 of a full day out of it. Obviously, if you're not using it a lot of web browsing or a lot of streaming, you would probably maybe make it the whole day without having to charge your phone. You have your micro SD card slot on the top. This phone does not include one. 5 megapixel camera with HD with flash. I'm not seeing anything in reference to full HD, so it still covers 720, but I don't believe it has 1080. So if we power on, you'll notice right away it has your Sense look to it, that separates HTC phones from all of your other ones made from LG and Samsung. I did notice it is very snappy. I liked it a lot. Really quick, you know, really responsive. It has your, you know, traditional 7 home screens, and you have your application dock right here directly from the middle. Not a lot of bloatware, some different things. It has Chrome pre-installed on it. It also has some different social media apps that were not on any of the other phones. It has your Facebook and Twitter automatically downloaded, and it just gave you your favorite folder, which you can add. So in the event you run out of space on one of your home screens, you just create a folder and you can label it favorites. They just gave you an example here, and they put People, Maps, YouTube in your internet browser. Your internet browser is going to be your standard, nothing special. I would personally recommend that you use Chrome. If you don't want to download a different browser, I always recommend you download Dolphin HD browser. It's very user friendly. I like it a lot. It seems to be more stable, and I don't know, I just like it overall appearance and being able to save all of your favorites and everything else. This to me is just very plain, and I'm just not a big fan of it. Like I said, it's very snappy. I like that a lot. Let's go ahead and cover the camera here really quick, just so you guys can see. It does have autofocus, which I really liked. The only issue that I have with the autofocus is that it tends to do it a little too frequent. Now, I went through... Now the camera is very basic, and which is nice for users who maybe this is your first smartphone, or you're maybe upgrading from something that was maybe not all that good. HTC makes it really user friendly as far as your settings go and everything else. I'm not going to run through all of these. I just took some examples that I wanted to show you guys with the front and the back. This is the front camera. Now, you heard me right. I did say 1 megapixel. I've heard 1.2 and 1. So it might be 1.2. And here is a video using the front camera. And here is the rear camera. just to give you guys an idea. And here's a short video. This would obviously be in HD. It's kind of hard to judge going from a phone to a video camera lens, but that's just to give you guys a little idea of some examples of what the actual camera can do. I do like it. I think it's really nice. I'm not having any problems as far as saying, oh, the problem is that I consider this to be sort of a downgrade from the Galaxy S2. So I'm so used to their specs that when I'm using this phone, it takes me a while to adjust to it, whether I like it or not. What else can we cover here? All right, now I did not download a single application or delete anything from this phone. And you'll see out of your 8 GB of storage, you are only left with just over 4. So they did hog up quite a bit of your space. So I would have to say that that's probably one of the downfalls of this particular phone. If we go to your software information, you'll see that it has Android version 4.0 ice cream sandwich, and it is running HTC Sense version 4.1. So it would have been nice if it came pre-installed with Jelly Bean. Maybe that would be another selling factor for this phone because they just updated the Galaxy S2. Understanding that this is, their newest phone, so maybe they didn't have the time. Considering that the S2's been out since September, so maybe that, and they just got the update not too long ago, so that could be part of the issue. But as far as your settings go, I'm so used to having a drop-down bar with being able to use my toggles that now, if you're in a hurry, you'll notice you have to drop it down, then go to settings, and then this will bring up this menu for you right here. So you have your airplane, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, your mobile network. Nothing you would want to use from there. GPS, just all your basic settings. And what I mean by what I was used to is, if I drop it down, notice this nice scrolling bar on the top. That's what I'm used to. And it's nice because of the fact that, if you're driving and you want to hit something, like turn on I don't leave my GPS on. So if I need it while I'm driving, all I have to do is that. Now, obviously, you're really not supposed to be using it when you're driving anyways. But now you'd have to go to your settings and, screw around with it. That's just one thing I wanted to point out. Okay, if you're coming from the S2 or I believe some of the other devices, this is the way you have to take a screenshot now. You have to use the power button and the volume down. And that's how you take a screenshot. If you try to use the home button, all it'll simply do is bring up the power off menu. So that's a little something that you have to get used to as well. So a cool feature that is on HTC phones is the ability to be able to personalize your phone. Now by personalize, it gives you these options. You can choose your scene, your skin, your wallpaper, lock screen style, your shortcuts, home screen, and you can do your sounds right here. So you got your sound set, your ringtone, notification sounds, and alarms. So if you want something specific like just vibrate or stock ringtone for notifications, but you want a different one for your ringtone, you can do it all just from the menu. So I thought that was really nice. Your wallpapers, nothing too special. I was waiting for like a huge upgrade maybe. Obviously you can just use an application called Zedge. Some of these are actually pretty cool, but you could just use Zedge and download any wallpaper that you want. That's where I always get all mine. And just give you some examples, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I use Boba Fett for my lock screen, and you can get, come on, oh no, and I use my Vader for just my phone. So, but that's just to give you guys a little idea on your wallpapers and customization. Go ahead and run through the volume tests here really quick. Some neat things that I liked is these little settings here. You can quiet the ring when you pick up the phone, and when the phone's in your pocket, it will actually increase the volume until you pull it out or when you move it, which is really cool. And you can flip it over, so if you're on the phone and you just flip it over, it'll automatically go to speakerphone. So I thought that was actually, I like that a lot. But that's just me personally. I'll go ahead and put it all the way up. So I'll just go ahead and apply that. Now, one thing that I'm always big on is the vibrate feature, because as many ringtones as I download and everything, I always just use the vibrate just because it's so much easier, because I always carry my phone in my pocket. So it is, let me see if I could go ahead and put this down on the table, and I will just show you guys how loud it is. It's not extremely, it's nothing crazy, but I always compare it to the last phone. So I'll go ahead and put the S2 on vibrate. And now I'll put, see, but it's kind of hard because, you know, I'm holding it. But obviously you could tell just from those. And it's not like, oh, I'm holding it up. Obviously, this is still my phone, so why would I be bad-mouthing my own phone? But anyways, that just is a huge thing for me that I was glad that I finally saw in one of the newer phones, that they increased the, I guess, intensity of the vibrate feature on the phone. Last but not least, here's what the stock keyboard looks like. It has your swipe feature, and the dialer is just flat black, just like that. And the contact list looks like that. So that is an overview of the HTC One SV from Boost Mobile, one of the first phones on the 4G LTE network introduced by them. And thank you guys for checking this out. Thank you guys for your patience. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to send me a private message. I will also leave links below for my Twitter and my Facebook account.